favorite topics, which is music. We all love music, don't we? I wanted to talk a little bit about music in the role of my recovery and of my mental health. I would say the only thing that I'm obsessed with, to the degree that I'm obsessed with my eating disorder, is music. It has been my heart and soul for as long as I can remember. Going to shows has been my religion. Discovering new music has been my passion. Supporting musicians has been a source of pride for me. My love of music is one of the few things that surpasses my love of the eating disorder. And I'm wondering if there are ways to harness this level of passion and make it part of my recovery, both from the eating disorder and from generally shitty mental health. It's no new revelation that music can impact our emotions and state of mind. So it makes sense that it could possibly play a role in healing our mental health. I can tell when my mental state is on the fritz because I consume less music and instead turn to TV and podcasts. And there's nothing wrong with those things. They can be really great forms of distraction, but they're passive. There's no real connection there. I like to be an active person and engage with things that mentally stimulate me. And personally, that's what music does for me. Listening to music and being a part of the music world makes me feel alive and productive. And that might be key here. Just the fact that it quenches my thirst for productivity that I have for whatever reason. I mean, a lot of people have that desire. It's just kind of the society that we live in. But maybe I can be productive in better ways through turning to music more often. I have aspired for years to have a role in the music industry, and that's something I've been successful at off and on. In school, I took a lot of music classes, music industry type classes, to prepare me for a career in that field. I've thrown shows, managed bands, networked, etc., and that stuff reminds me of who I really am and what I care about. It also reminds me that I can be good at something. I was halfway decent at those things. And yeah, sure, I'm still learning. I was still learning. I will continue to still learn. But that's consistently been a growth that I'm proud of. My point in bringing this up as it relates to my eating disorder is that the feelings I derive from engaging in eating disorder behaviors and those negative coping skills are feelings that I could derive from engaging in music in any aspect. Feelings like pride, inspiration, determination, stress relief, self-worth, those are all things that I kind of associate with the eating disorder. And they're also things that I associate with what I get out of music, but just in a much more healthy way, obviously. Sometimes you have to dig deep to find what makes you tick and what gets you into your flow state. Sometimes the answer isn't always what you'd initially expect, but we all have our thing. Having an eating disorder isn't my thing. Struggling with mental health isn't my thing. It's not what my life has to be about. My life has the capacity to be about involvement in the music industry, going to shows, discovering new music, creating music. That's my thing. That's my jam, if you will. Music even has the power to help me heal and give me motivation to keep going when things are tough. I think every situation needs a good playlist, and that's why I made a playlist specifically for recovery. I play it when I need a little boost, a little bopping, a little head banging. It's like a pep talk or a hype session. So find whatever hypes you up and whatever makes you tick. because I promise you that you are more than your mental illness. Sure, recovery is a full-time job, but it doesn't have to define you and your identity. I forget that a lot, and I spend a lot of time just feeling sorry for myself and for my predicament. And this isn't the healthiest way to cope, and it perpetuates the narrative in my head that I have little to offer this world apart from my struggles. I don't know if I necessarily believe that I have more to offer, but music reminds me that there is a safe space for me and that there's an arena of my life that is separate from the eating disorder. Lucky for me, there are many ways I can engage with my love of music, whether it's being an active listener, going to shows, creating music, DJing, managing bands, throwing concerts even, writing a music blog, interviewing artists. These are all things I've done and things that have brought me even more validation and excitement than my eating disorder brings me. I want to be clear here that anything seemingly positive that I get out of the eating disorder is an illusion. It's like any drug that gives you a high. Yeah, it feels great for a moment, but it costs so much. And eventually that high wears off or fails to work anymore. I'm going to say now that music is my drug of choice. Because I know that high is not an illusion. It's genuine enjoyment and genuine passion. So if you're struggling with mental health and are following the narrative that your struggle is all that your life is about, I challenge you to dig a little deeper and find the thing that truly motivates and resonates with you. Maybe this is music, maybe it's cosplay, maybe it's art, maybe it's cooking, maybe it's designing luxury cat leashes, maybe it's uncovering the secrets of the JFK assassination, which is also me. A huge part of recovery is rediscovering your own identity and separating it from your addiction or mental illness. I'm still trying to rediscover my own, but I'm hoping that this realization that my love of music outweighs my infatuation with the eating disorder is a step in the direction of healing. So go out and find your thing. Lean into it. It might be scary for a bit at first to come out from under your rock, but I promise you that you'll see that it's a safe place to spend your time.